Welcome, I'm Dr. Shelley Howell from UTSA's Teaching and Learning Services. This is the first of 3 sessions on using Blackboard to engage students in your face-to-face courses. In this session, you will learn best practices, tips, and tricks for designing effective online discussions for face-to-face courses. In subsequent sessions, we will cover assessments and group work. If you're new to Blackboard, stay with me to the end of this presentation for ways to learn more about the Blackboard features we discuss. Briefly, in case you aren't yet convinced, here are a few reasons you might want to include an online discussion component in your face-to-face course. An online discussion can extend the conversations you have in class. This is helpful when you find yourself running out of time but want students to continue to engage in the discussion. You can also use an online discussion to introduce a controversial topic. Students are generally more inclined to provide their opinion if they can do so in a safe environment. An online discussion can also facilitate deeper thinking and reflection. With the right thought-provoking questions, your students can move toward a better understanding of the topic at hand and reflect on their own future goals. Online discussions can also create community among your students. For example, an introductory discussion thread requesting that students introduce themselves can show students how much they have in common with their fellow classmates. And finally, an online discussion gives students more writing practice. This can help them develop better writing skills that benefit them throughout life. So how do we incorporate online discussions in our face-to-face courses? Here are a few suggestions. I don't know about you, but I frequently run out of class time during discussions. You can use an online discussion as a supplement to your in-class discussions, either before the in-class discussion or as a post-discussion reflection tool. Consider requiring students to reflect on your content during the week by posting responses to your Socratic-type questions that match the topics for the week. Or create a discussion board giving students the opportunity to share the topics they want to discuss when you do meet in class, or ask questions about any upcoming topics. You can also use an online discussion forum as an icebreaker activity, either as a supplement to one you use in class or as a substitute to save class time. A successful icebreaker will require that students introduce themselves in a discussion forum and find things they have in common. You will want to start a thread with a specific prompt such as, if you could have dinner with any famous individual, living or dead, who would it be and why? Or, describe one thing about you that is unique or unusual. Make sure you answer first so students can get to know you as well. You can also use an online discussion forum for students to earn credit even if they miss class. Have students who miss class post a reflection or assignment in the discussion forum to earn credit for attendance and to show they have learned the missed content. Encourage other students to share their thoughts on the post as well. For example, if your lecture for the day covers a poem by Maya Angelou, have students read the poem and answer specific questions that lead them to the same reflection they would have seen had they been in class. This can ensure students don't miss important content and can be a helpful tool for those who have excused absences. If you have to miss a class period for a conference or maybe the flu, you don't have to completely cancel class. Have students participate in an online discussion about specific content on the day of your absence. This could be a continuing discussion from a previous class, a new topic you will cover in the next session, or a standalone activity. You will want to post specific requirements and instructions to ensure students know what the expectations are in your absence. For example, set a minimum word count and a minimum number of responses required to earn credit. It is best if you require students to post an individual response to a prompt and then to also comment on the responses of their peers. You can also have students post summaries of what they've learned and how they can apply their new knowledge. Some faculty do this every week of the class, and others just do it occasionally. This activity can also serve as a good formative assessment tool to help you see where any gaps may be occurring in their learning. Be aware of those students who just read others' posts and regurgitate what they've read. You will want to make the discussion prompts personal to minimize this copycat effect. Asking students to discuss how they personally will use the new knowledge can help alleviate this problem. One of the most common and easy ways to use an online discussion board is for questions. Set up a thread in your course for questions so students can ask questions and get answers without having to raise their hand in class. Blackboard allows for anonymous posting so that students can ask questions in a safe and comfortable environment. Make sure you monitor this thread so you can answer promptly and encourage other students to respond if they know the answer. Hint: subscribe to the discussion board so you receive an email notice when a question or response is posted. If you have group activities in your course, you can set up group discussion boards to facilitate communication among group members. These can be permanent group discussions, or they can be for ad hoc groups. You can allow students the freedom to use the discussion board as they wish, or you can require certain responses to prompts for discussion. If you put students into groups in Blackboard using the Users and Groups feature, a discussion board is automatically set up for each group. At the end of this session, I will share ways to learn more about Blackboard's tools. For the brave faculty out there, you can create a discussion for students to let you know what they like and don't like about your course. You have to be brave and not thin-skinned to do this one, since there will be good and bad comments. This works best if you want feedback about a specific activity or assignment. For example, if you have an early group assignment that didn't go as well as you planned, you can post a prompt like this: because our group projects didn't turn out as well as I had planned, I would like your feedback before we do our next group project. In your opinion, what went well and what could be improved? You can allow anonymous posting so students can be honest without the worry that a negative comment will affect their grade. So those were some ways that online discussion boards can be used effectively in your face-to-face class. Next, I have 6 tips to help make the online discussions as successful as possible. First, assign points and require participation. If you don't, they won't do it. Students must see value in the activity and they must participate for the discussions to be effective. You will want to require students to post early in the week and allow time for follow-up posts the rest of the week if you want to see a robust discussion. For example, if your class is Monday, Wednesday, Friday, require the original response to your prompt on Monday by midnight, and then require 2 additional posts in response to other students' responses by Friday. If everyone participates, you will have a rich discussion going by Friday. Another tip is to set clear expectations. You will need to provide ground rules for behavior in the forums, the number of times students are required to post, the required length of each post, what must be included in each post, such as references or examples, and how often students should post in the forum. You should also include information on how and when their posts will be graded to avoid any confusion. Although we do want students to learn good grammar and writing skills, in a discussion forum you want to be less rigid in grading that sort of thing than in a formal academic paper. This doesn't mean students should be allowed to respond the way they might on social media without capitalization or punctuation, but it does mean we should let students do more free writing without fear of losing credit. Too much rigidity can restrict the flow of the discussion because students are more worried about their spelling than they are about the content. Creating a good discussion prompt is the key to an effective discussion. A good prompt allows students to voice opinions, engage in academic debate, contribute their perspectives, and share personal experiences. It is a good idea to structure discussions so that questions get more challenging as the course progresses. Discussions should include questioning, interpreting, elaborating, or relating information to prior knowledge to increase student comprehension of the topic. A good introductory prompt is one that asks what the student already knows about the topic, how they learned it, and why the topic is relevant to their lives. If you set up online discussions, you must participate. Students need to see your presence in the discussion or they won't take the discussion seriously. Share your own experiences and thoughts throughout the discussion to model good discussion behavior, but don't take over. Discussions should be student-directed, but with faculty visually present. You should also make sure you respond equally to all students during the discussion. It is also important that you regularly monitor the forums to ensure students are not posting incorrect information or engaging in unproductive arguments. Make sure you quickly shut down any negative comments and report any comments that violate the Student Code of Conduct to your department. You want to create and encourage a trusting and open environment. And finally, don't accept a student's discussion post as is. Ask students questions about their post, like, why do you think that? How would that work? Or follow up with a what if question. Encourage students to ask questions of their peers as well. Critique is an important component of an effective discussion, and academically critiquing others' work is an effective learning strategy. Of course, you want to ensure students are engaging in academic critique and not just being critical. You might want to provide some guidelines on good ways to ask academically sound questions. If you need help with tools for discussion in Blackboard, here are several ways to find information. First, you can find the Blackboard Learn for Instructors playlist on YouTube. You can use the help link at the bottom of the left-hand menu in your Blackboard course. You can enroll in UTSA's self-paced Blackboard course. Send your ABC123 to onlinelearning@utsa.edu and simply request to be enrolled. You can attend a workshop offered by the Office of Online Learning. A list of workshops can be found at this link. Or you can schedule a one-on-one consultation with a teaching and learning consultant. You can find the link to that on the Teaching and Learning Services website at teaching.utsa.edu, or you can send us an email at tls@utsa.edu. Here are some of the resources we used to put together this presentation. We encourage you to visit these sites for more information on effective discussions. Thanks for joining us today for this session on online discussions. Stay tuned for the next presentation on effective online assessments, and make sure you visit our website at teaching.utsa.edu for resources on a variety of teaching topics.